work it out, I work it out. And I'll be somewhere that you need me, and I'll be holding my breath, waiting for you to show. Afraid to say real love. Now I see you and I'll make it through to find the life that we once had. I see it now, I feel it now. Real love. Now I see you, yeah, you know I do, to make it through the times we had. I see it now, I see it now. Now I'll break through to show to you that I'm more good than I am bad. I work it out, I work it out. And I'll be somewhere that you need me, and I'll be holding my breath, waiting for you to show. I made it right here in the booth. I'm always pursued because of what I pursue. That's greatness, yeah, I gotta make it, I got things to lose. Boy, wanna get in my crew, but you can't get in my crew. Me, XL and Hoover, way too fireable. When this joint drop, better call the troops. And when you hear the drop, better raise the roof. Better raise the roof. You already know what happens when we link up. Let's go. Yeah, I got the juice. Yeah, I got the juice. Big game cool, make them look like cool. Always play it cool, that's the biggest rule. Forget what they doing, keep on doing so.
I don't wanna see you while you fall apart. Even though you told me to get back your heart, I still spin inside your orbit. Yeah. You say that I should probably start to walk away. I'm hoping that you stop and make me have to stay, cause I'm floating in your orbit. Yeah, I'm stuck in your space. It's my luck, put me on where you understand. There's nothing left to say. Pull me back, take my hand, come on, name, you understand, I wanna stay. Cause I don't wanna walk away. Cause I don't wanna walk away. Cause I don't wanna walk away. Yeah, I'm stuck in your
Hopefully we won't end up with a 2-0 though. I'd like to see that third map coming on in. We'll get a 2-1. I guess that keeps the same amount of 2s, so we would be good there. That would still work thematically. I'm excited for this matchup. It's been we saw UT Dallas in the past weekend, right? And we saw them earlier too. They struggled a little bit sometimes with connectivity issues more than anything else. They're a very stable team though, and I'm excited to see them come out on the stage today and play against that unknown quantity of Seneca. Yeah, no. So UC Irvine, unfortunately, for one reason or another, had to forfeit their match on Monday. Good for UT Dallas. Means that the team that beat them last week is not going to be able to beat them for this round of the tournament, right? Because, you're going to get that automatic forfeit win. So presumably, looking at this group, UT Dallas are now in a great spot to make it out. They'll have a win over UC Irvine no matter what. So even if it came down to a tiebreaker with them, things would work out pretty favorably. And if they can walk away with at least one more win, you assume UT Dallas are going to be able to get out of this group. That being said, you have to get that one more win. We're going to start it off today. We're going to be heading on over to, I believe it is Haven for our first map, as Seneca did win the coin flip, did ban that map of Ascent, interestingly enough, not Split, which I love to see maps that aren't Split be banned because it means the team is not a coward. So good on you, Seneca. I respect it. Yeah. It's a pretty standard composition, right? And it's the one that UT Dallas have shown us most frequently, right? They don't really flex off these roles too often. It's just a very straightforward and safe composition. You can play on pretty much any map. Other side, though. Yes. Rajante is my new favorite player in this lobby. All right, bias caster 100% because we got the Viper locked in. Beanies, Viper, in my opinion, totally underrated. I think Viper is being majorly slept on by a lot of teams in North America. I think since she got that buff a couple patches ago, was starting off on 100 fuel, there are a lot of potential strategies, especially on a map like Haven, where you can implement Viper. Yeah, we are going to get right on in here to the action. It's a very defensive Viper wall coming out from Rajante. It's going to just cover off a lot of the easy access here, but it does give up a good amount of control into Garage. If you want to get through this wall, you're going to have to flash. And now Cola is kind of left out in the open. This gets very risky for both parties. Neither has any information. Both Reynas will be able to spot each other, but Naughty Monk isn't going to get too feisty with that, and it's going to be difficult to push through this, especially as the wall comes back out from Rajante and just keeps UT Dallas at bay.
Yeah, and that's going to be crucial here, because as nobody has given up a life just yet, Kozin is toying with that idea. You want to reevaluate your there for a quick second. Going to make sure that they can get full utility out of that smoke, but the wall proving to be a deadly tool in 2 out of 3 bomb sites here, giving Cola an opportunity to move up and maybe use that wall to the offense's advantage, as Cola's going to take some shots, but not going to find any for the moment.
30 seconds
and
left.
Naughty Monk getting the first 2, but UT Dallas trading out some in response, and ultimately they're going to get the spike plant down, so some crucial credits going over to the offense, and they still have that first round victory in their sights.
This is one of the great things about the Viper wall, though. I mean, this flash is going to make it a little bit more difficult, but as long as Rajante is alive, that wall is up, and this becomes very difficult for UT Dallas. Perfect timing on the swing, too. Rajante with 3 in the round, and that is the power of Viper, especially on a pistol.
You gotta respect the frenzy, Paul. I am a big fan of that first round buy here, and you know, no one is more deserving than our Viper. We've already put Rajante on a pedestal here, picking this agent. It's going to be up to them to show off why this was the flex pick, the flex difference between these mirrored compositions, and already starting off strong. And I'm really enjoying showing the wall usage here, getting full utility out of that on 2 out of 3 sites, already making her mark in this game.
And this becomes a bit of a damned if you do, damned if you don't for UT Dallas, right? Because you could tell in that first round they were uncomfortable pushing into the wall, and they just sat around in mid for a while, unsure of what to do. So now you think, okay, they're probably going to pivot away from the wall over toward the A site, but that's where the Cypher's sitting. He's going to have the camera and the trap wires revealing that the push is coming this direction. This is really difficult for UT Dallas, especially in a round where they are down in firepower. Cola does start it off pretty well, though. Gotta give him up for that, and he will actually upgrade to that Spectre too. Expect him to just leave and head back over to A as the push comes.
Yeah, and Paul, as you were talking, Pankon elimination, now Lamb joining in the party as well, so the kill feed lighting up red in favor of UT Dallas, giving over Spike Site A. And yes, as I say, that Spike is going to go down there. And with a 5-on-2 here, the retake feels like it's going to be pretty difficult, even with the Spectre here. You got to remember that there's a decent bit of weapons there on the offensive side, and albeit losing 1 member here, UT Dallas still going to even out the round score. And as we head into this 3rd round with buys coming through, this is really going to be an interesting round where the straw is going to break that camel's back.
Yeah, a little bit of a worst case scenario there for Seneca, although the economy is in a very interesting space right now. Seneca, they did lose their anti-eco, right? So they don't really have enough money to buy, but they're gonna try and go for it anyways. This is risky, right? Because you take you're choosing to take the eco next round if you lose rather than now. But it is that bonus round for UT Dallas. They're not buying up full Vandals either. So Seneca, I like this gamble that they've gone for, but they're gonna have to show us something pretty special to make it happen.
Cola now trying to scout out what's going on in Garage. That Viper wall splitting up the sightline, giving a little bit of a defensive edge there for moving around. The recon drone's going to get sniffed out, and then Cola, a nice little headshot there onto the opposing Reyna, asserting dominance in that mirror matchup now. And with the Soul Orb in hand is going to give a little bit of a little boost there over the Cola to make sure they get back to full HP. And UT Dallas going to give that a little bit of breathing room now after that elimination comes through, Paul. And while the kill did go through over on Garage, they're flipping it over the A site, which is firmly in the offense's control.
Yeah, and we're gonna, in future rounds, gonna need to see some adaptations out of Seneca, because that's the third time that their Reyna Naughty Monk has lost control of Garage over to Cola, be it because of frags or just because of general pressure. Cola's on a very powerful angle here too. He will get spotted, just the perfect inch, giving Ace the advantage, but still 4v4 for this retake. I'd like to see some paranoias and flashes really enable Seneca to make this happen. Great
Seneca's going to have, very useful there. Blizz gonna pick up one before getting dropped, so hopefully giving Seneca a little bit of life force here, as Kozin and Rajante each getting some kills there. So Seneca is finding some life here as they have a 1v1 left standing, but Adolfo looked like he was playing with Rajante for a moment there and securing UT Dallas' second round win.
Loved it from Lamb right there. Doesn't show up in the kill feed too much, but that hot hands he threw back to the back of sight where Seneca were forced to enter through really made the difference in that round. And Seneca, I mean, they went for the gamble stack, right? They left A all alone. They just left a trap wire there, and unfortunately it did get spotted out by UT Dallas, who have been playing very methodical Valorant thus far, right? They're not really going for hard executes. They're playing the information game. They're creeping and going for contact plays rather than just committing to a site, and it's been working out for them thus far. And presumably Seneca, I mean, on eco in this round, just pistols for them. It's going to be nigh on impossible for them to make this happen, especially since Naughty Monk probably going to get spotted out by this owl drone. Oh, actually, he doesn't.
I will say last night, Washington, WGA was able to put on a clinic with these sheriffs, so we might see the same come out here as Naughty Monk, a nice quick kill, using that Soul Orb to get out of dodge, a useful tool there in Reyna's kit, and one of my personal favorite agents, so always happy to see that agent get a spot in the limelight, as going to be covering up that spotlight there with a nice little cage. And it looks like, Paul, yet again, Dallas taking the slow, methodical route, but choosing to go to A site, as Ace is going to take down one with him, but still, that's going to be Dallas getting the spike down in A site, getting control of it yet again, and forcing Seneca's hand here with the retake.
Blizz has picked up that Bulldog too that was dropped over in Garage, so from heaven, he's going to be able to get a lot of work done with that alternate fire. Flash goes out, he's just going to drop straight onto site. This gets a little bit dicey, especially since Lamb has removed Naughty Monk. Lamb, dude! Bro, it's not the slaughter of the Lambs, it's the slaughter from Lamb.
Oh, and you were saying it right there. Lamb slaughtering his opponents. Didn't even need a second to think about it. The spray transfer must have been absurd to get that 1-2 piece nicely done. And leading UT Dallas there is going to be Adolfo, even with Lamb's little pop-off there. But nonetheless, it's a team effort getting them 3-1. And Paul, just take a look at the credits right now. The economy, Seneca really just rolling the dice on this round, because if they forego this one, it's basically giving up 2 straight rounds.
I mean, they have to go for the full buy here, though. I mean, there's no reason to delay it any further. The running back does get a little bit of information. Actually spots 2 players out mid right now, so you can feel pretty confident with how you stacked up your players. If you're Seneca, you have 3 leaning toward that C site and the Omen ready to rotate over if necessary. You do have the Owl Drone going through and not. Oh, good job once again. But man, this Reyna 1v1 in Garage has been so dangerous for all parties involved and so back and forth thus far.
Yeah, honestly, that's been the story of the
Nice.
match. Which Reina can assert dominance more so? Naughty Monk, nice elimination there onto Adolfo, giving Seneca a decent agent lead as the running back's going to come out from Lamb, who may or may not be aware that peeking around here is going to find himself not one, but his teammate as well, who does not get the teleport off, hoping to force a line of sight change with the Omen TP, but not going to get that done. Paint, though, winning this aim duel over Kozin, getting the headshot,
Yeah.
helping even up the odds there for UT Dallas, but Seneca still has this lead. Around hits 30 seconds.
I
30
like
seconds
this from
left.
Seneca, right? A lot of teams would pivot all the way to the A site when after this would take so long, right? But they wait toward C. Unfortunately, Paint just faster on the trigger does take out Naughty Monk, and now he's got that neural theft too. This spike can easily get planted over at A. They assume that the Cypher is rotated off, though, and they're
10
going to
seconds
assume
left.
incorrectly. Ace not in the
Spike
position
planted.
to deny the spike, though, and once again, it's a 3v3 on this retake.
Yeah, this is going to be crucial for UT Dallas. They do have that HP disadvantage. Their Cypher sitting at what looks like 10 HP on a good day, I'd say, as Ace holding up here in heaven, trying to deal with Paint. Yeah, 9 HP in a dream there. As it's going to be a 1-1 trade. Dallas
player
is
remaining.
trying to
One
hold
player
down the
remaining.
site here. Seneca does take the
2
trade.
health
It's gonna
versus
be
9.
Oh man, 2 HP versus 9. Which one can land the shot first? And Rajante has to get the defuse. So it's all up to
Nice.
UT Dallas, and Paint is not going to keep himself alive. Rajante gets the elimination, and with 2 HP in a dream, that's going to be the spike defuse as well here. Seneca getting their second round win.
Bro, one more health than Rajante needed to make that happen right there. And I love the communication that must have been going on for Seneca in that round, right? Because we saw earlier that Paint did throw that camera up into that A long, right? And that was spotted by Ace. So, knows where the Cypher is playing from. Once the other 2 players are eliminated, despite the fact that it's a 1v1, Rajante knew where Paint was, and Paint did not have the same kind of information. Had to play back further in long and just wait for the spike defuse. Rajante doesn't take the bait and just goes for the frag. Great work from them, and they're nearly tying us up here. They've got ults to work with in this upcoming round too. Viper's Pit available, so if you start to think that the Rajante is going to get pushed, he's going to be able to throw that down, but first he just throws a frag onto the board.
Yeah,
UT
Paul,
Dallas, they're letting this lead slip away.
You said, is Rajante going to get pushed? I mean, he's the one pushing right there, and he's on defense, just running up A long, getting a frag, and then take a look at your minimap, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone else. It's going to be Rajante and their Cypher fully rotating over the C site, so everyone on the map is aware of this spike getting dropped, planted, and now it's going to be up to UT Dallas to hold off the retake as Seneca and UT Dallas match those Empresses. So it's going to be left up to these Reinas to flex their mechanical skills and show who's the better aim god as Naughty Monk peeks around the corner, but Cola holding the angle with Red Flame, read them like a children's book. And Cola just trying to do what Reinas do best right now, landing the flags, landing the shots, and with that attack speed advantage, makes the Classic look like an assault rifle. UT Dallas winning their 4th round here, sending us into the 7th round overall.
And that was the little bit of a problem with that push up A long, right? Because 2 players committed to that push. It was Ace and Rajante who both went up A, and yeah, they got Paint. Good. That's a good pick, right? But the problem is they're on the complete opposite side of the map from C. Great read from UT Dallas. They just rush up and get that plant down. It's still a very difficult task to retake on that C site. They just wanted to avoid the Viper's Pit, and they did so masterfully. Seneca, they're going to have to make this round work, too. They forced into this. Oh, and that's a bad start. They are losing economy. They're losing map pressure, too. Every time that Seneca has lost Naughty Monk in Garage, they have gone on to lose the round sequentially here. They have so little map control. They're desperately playing their player, or pulling their players, rather, over toward that C side, but this can't go well.
Oh, and you bring up a great point there, Paul, as Lamb is going to push this site here, and he does find the final elimination. But yeah, you brought up a great point there, Paul. It seems like Seneca is really relying on that garage play, and at this point, it feels like a coin flip for them to win the round and have Naughty Monk snowball for them. I mean, the scoreline speaks for itself, sitting at 4 kills, 7 deaths, not really going into their favor too often, and that really doesn't seem like a sound strategy going forward. So it's going to be, I feel like, left up to Naughty Monk to just not take that aggressive peek every time and see what happens with an extended 5 versus 5.
And look at this heavy stack towards the C site from Seneca. They've lost this site more than a couple times, so they want to go for the hard commitment, keeping that and Garage more than likely, just playing retake on A and B. But with how patient UT Dallas have been, you have to imagine, yeah, they're just going to do the thing they've done every single round. Drone into Garage, get the information game, they spot the Reyna there, so they'll know that Naughty Monk is in Garage at the very least. Are you gonna push this? Rajante, that's so risky!
Oh my gosh, Rajante really has cojones made of steel, and it's not gonna pay off there. Cola taking down Naughty Monk, and if Professor Paulsable is right, then that theory of how Seneca wins rounds had just fallen apart, because now they lost Naughty Monk. They have 3 members left standing in this 3 versus 4, and even though they do have 2 ultimates available to them, it's not going to play too much in terms of these gunfights. It's really going to rely on them to step up in these aim duels and beat out UT Dallas, who consistently keep winning these gunfights. And as that spike does get planted here, it's going to be left up to the 3 members of Seneca to retake. And UT Dallas is aware of where they're going to be coming from. It's just a matter of winning these duels. But the thing is, Seneca is not fully aware of Paint.
Paint, he's behind. They had no idea he was there, Beanie. So rough for them. And yet again, you can see how well UT Dallas play around the map. And I want to double back to this Garage story that we've been talking about, right? Because it's not so much how Seneca are losing because of Garage, it's how UT Dallas are winning because of Garage, right? Because once UT Dallas are able to take out the player in Garage, right? Whether they trade 1 for 1 or they just get the pick, right? Best case scenario for Seneca, they have to recommit more members to retake Garage. That means that you're probably not dealing with anybody over on A. Worst case scenario, Seneca are probably rotating players from A over toward that site because you don't have info in Garage. So they could be pushing C or they could be leaving. So UT Dallas are doing such a good job of playing around that pivotal part of the map.
Well, now UT Dallas is going to have to play around the pivotal part of their composition with only 1 ultimate left here for this round. Oh yeah, there you go again. It's like clockwork at this point. Naughty Monk does get revealed this time, learning how to deal with that. You fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. And Seneca looking to possibly extend out this 5 versus 5, but look at your map, ladies and gentlemen, everyone else. Yeah, Rajante and Ace going up for the flank here. Not sure if they've been spotted out.
They haven't been spotted. They will have heard that players are coming too. Nice work from Rajante there, and he's going to try and use the smoke, the toxic orb, to just get away. Snakebite and everything. The camera there, I believe, did spot him absconding, so the spike is going to be able to be picked up. But UT Dallas, this isn't nearly the same kind of map control they've been playing with on other rounds.
Yeah, and Seneca did use that Viper's Pit on A site, so preemptively preventing any sort of push, but it's not going to get much value in the middle of a team fight or anything of the likes, because now C is going to be the spike plant location, and it's going to take a little bit for Seneca to swing on around here with Viper slowly making their way over, and the spike is going to be planted here, so it will be left up to 3 members of Seneca to take down 3 members of UT Dallas, and Naughty Monk with that stinger is going to have a pretty tall task, especially with 47 HP in the Dream.
And Rajante was picking up a gun, right? But only half health on this player right now. This is a very difficult retake. Starts off pretty well. Flash gonna keep Blizz alive for a second, but only a second, as now both those players are gone. Rajante, can he get the flick? Last one evades him. Lamb will put it down, shut it down. Not a bad round for Seneca, all things considered. They were buying into that round pretty cheap, right? So they can full buy now. The problem is, UT Dallas, they got plenty of money to work with.
Yeah, but it is a start there, Paul. If you're going to start hitting at the eco, you got to hit them where it hurts. And even if they end up losing that round, there are 4 members of UT Dallas that do fall. So that means 4 members at least are going to be buying new weapons this round. And if Seneca can take this round as well, we could start seeing a snowball come back, and they could get themselves to a 5-round score here before half. And honestly, a 5-7 scoreline, considering how the half went, that would be pretty fantastic for Seneca, all things considered. So we'll have to see.
This is bad. Oh, this is bad. I know exactly. Pain has the spike. Neural Theft too. That's going to reveal that players are on their way. Great snake bite there from Rajante. Keeps the Lyra away. swing there from
Oh,
Ace. He's a little bit late to
worry.
save Ajante, but he'll at least make picking the spike up pretty expensive. But Yakuza is just, I believe he from the shadows. I believe he ultimated onto the site. And this is getting worse and worse for Seneca. It started off so well for them. Run it back is going to have to find so much here. And Blizz isn't able to get much more than information.
Yeah, Lamb is trying to get the spike down before his ultimate time down. Unfortunately, could not do so, as it really won't matter too much as it gives Yakuza a chance to find another elimination. But Blizz actually going to take down Yakuza with one and actually challenged Lamb pretty well there, but ultimately Lamb winning that Phoenix duel, getting the spike down, and that's going to be a good round there for UT Dallas, as 8-2 is that score, with only 2 rounds left in this half. I mean, we could be looking at a 10-2 half here, Paul.
And we do have to put a little bit of an asterisk on this, right? I mean, it is the defending side for Seneca. On any other map, this would be the game over, basically, because Valorant is a very defender-sided game at the moment. But it is Haven. This is pretty much the single most even map between attack and defense, but you got to walk away with at least 4 rounds. Seneca has to make something happen here, and they're back on a light buy, Marshall's, Stingers, and the like. It's very dicey, and you can see that they know that it's dicey. They know they're in a rough spot right now. This is a very risky position from Naughty Monk. Adolfo's going to spot him too, so it's not going to pay off. He's just going to have to head for the hills and won't get further than a foot away from that box he was hiding behind. Now you can just rush up onto the C site. A good first shot from Blizz, but that's not enough to hold on to C.
Ooh, nice little shot there with the Marshall, just flexing the headshot capabilities. Yakuza, though, gonna get that spike down, and with 4 members against 3 here, UT Dallas is holding down the site pretty confidently, and they do not really need to worry too much about these fights. They can keep the distance, use the assault rifles that they have to their advantage, or Adolfo, for that matter, is just gonna use his shock arrow to take down one. And now with an ultimate being used there, it's going to be UT Dallas getting that Cypher ultimate off, really just securing Seneca's demise here with Kozin only 6 HP remaining here. Going to challenge a questionable duel, but nonetheless, you might as well with that one Spectre, as UT Dallas, they wipe the floor there with Seneca in the 11th round. And here we go, the last round of the half coming up, and UT Dallas on the cusp of that double-digit score.
And I have to say, I love Viper, right? And I love that Seneca is bringing out Viper. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more variety on their defense and how they've set the Viper up. Because UT Dallas, I think, while it caught them out for a couple rounds early on that Viper wall, you know, they might not have so much practice against it. The fact that the Viper wall has gone in the same place round after round after round after round really kind of tells that Seneca aren't varying up where they put players too much. They're not changing up their resources, and because UT Dallas have figured out how to play around that Viper wall, you just send the Owl Drone through it, and then you take Garage as planned for UT Dallas. It's been pretty rough for Seneca to actually get use out of this Viper as much as I think they could get use out of the Viper, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, to add on to that too, they really were hesitant with using that Viper's Pit. Albeit they haven't had too many successful rounds, but they really only got 1 use out of that ultimate for the entire defensive side. And that ultimate really can have a lot of usefulness if you just get it up enough frequently and you're using it at the right timing. Unfortunately, neither of the two were true for Seneca. And they just got bullied off this point here. UT Dallas, who was down a member, just forcing themselves onto A site, knowing that they had the numbers advantage. Adolfo trying to even out the overall numbers with this ultimate, but not going to find any eliminations there for the time being. Throwing out the recon dart to try and scout out at least 1 or 2 people, but Paint and Adolfo going to be finding some eliminations. I think the paranoia came from Seneca's own Omen to spell the demise of their team, and UT Dallas saying thank you very much there. And they're going to go into halftime with a 10-2 scoreline here.
And UT Dallas, their post plants were so phenomenal, right? They are so practiced on this, so ready for retakes on every site, but especially A, right? Every single time that Seneca went for a retake, there were recon darts, paranoia, smokes, hot hands, keeping them at bay from any angle they wanted to come in from. UT Dallas playing just clinical Valorant on those retakes. Now they're going to go over to the defense. They only got to put 3 rounds on the board to grab this first map of Haven. Hard to imagine they don't lock this up sooner rather than later, Beanies.
Yeah, Paul, and I mean, to add to that, if we see UT Dallas take this pistol round, you can all but assume that they're going to be going aggressive into that second round, and that'll be a 12-2 scoreline. So it's going to be big for Seneca here to show up, and Blizz, hearing us talk about it, is going to give Seneca some life here on A site. They take down the lone defender there, and they're going to push on the A, get the spike down, and there the retake is going to commence now for UT Dallas, who they have one member, Lamb, here on your screen, going from the back, catching out Ace, but Ace, albeit a little surprised, is going to collect themselves and take down Lamb. And with UT Dallas losing more members than they're thinking, Seneca, they have life here on their first round of offense, and they're doing pretty well with this 3-on-1. And they're going to make that 3-0 round going Seneca's way.
Pistol goes over to Seneca. I believe yet again, I was they won that first pistol round. Yeah. Keep in mind, the last time they won a pistol, they lost the subsequent round. So
you're right,
wouldn't be too surprised if UT Dallas pulled something out here. But it is a pretty intensive buy from Seneca, right? They are going to be able to swing one Vandal. So, and it's on a Naughty Monk too, who is that Reyna who can get themselves up to full armor as long as they get that first frag. So as long as Naughty Monk is able to get a pick before anything else goes wrong for Seneca, this should be a pretty good round for them. It seems like they're just gonna play pretty heavy towards this C site right here. It is a rush out of B though. I love this from UT Dallas. They're just gonna get aggressive because they know they have nothing to lose.
Jante is trying to play around with that smoke, but not going to play with that fire a little too much, backing up in the spawn and preserving their life here. Spike is going to get planted by their team. Naughty Monk and Rajante. Oh, coming up from behind. Rajante is going to find two with that cheeky little submachine gun sneak up, excuse me, there for the stumble. But Seneca leaving me a little speechless with this play here, as they have firm control of C site. And with Ace flexing the Marshall shots and Blizz alongside that round 2 Vandal buy, it's going to pay off here for Seneca, and they are coming out storming here on their offense. It's 2 straight victories.
And again, UT Dallas, I think, stumbling in early rounds because they don't consider what the Viper actually does for Seneca immediately, because, you know, they probably aren't practiced against it too much. They rush out of B. What does rush out of B in Garage mean? Well, there's nobody on C. Because of the placement of Rajante's wall, cutting off C, this exact wall you can see on the minimap right now, C retake is so difficult. Even if Rajante didn't get those kills from the attacker's spawn, UT Dallas would have had such a difficult time actually reclaiming the C site. Guns down. They are going to be in a full buy now. It's just a bonus round for Seneca, but even in bonus rounds like this, you can't really afford to be giving these away if you're Seneca. You're too far down, so ideally they would bonus round this, just try and damage UT Dallas's economy, but they really need to pull this one off too if they want to feel confident going into the rest of Haven.
And confidence is going to be key, my friend. If you're down 4 rounds to 10, you need to have that true belief in yourself, that real anime power up to make sure that you can come back. And Seneca, they're hoping that their training arc is long gone and it's time for them to show their true power. As they are cautiously toying with A, it looks like. They have Viper set up here on an off angle, looking to take down Cola. And as they try and do-si-do with each other, we're going to get a beautiful dual shot here by our team. Love this dual view as Adolfo and Lamb are each going to take down 1, 2 respective members. Paint getting another, and Seneca, while they look strong in these first 2 rounds, this third round, they are running into a brick wall. And this brick wall hurts a lot more when they got lead coming towards you, my friends. Flawless from the defenders of UT Dallas. 11-4 is our score here, heading into round 16.
It was just the bonus round for Seneca, so all is not lost. But their economy does kind of hinge on their success in this round, right? And it was flawless for UT Dallas. They didn't lose a single gun. So even if UT Dallas walks away from this round hurting, even if they lose all guns and don't take a single one from Seneca, they're going to be able to buy up next round without too many issues. Seneca, once again, not really varying up how they use this Viper wall too much. Over and over, it goes toward that C site. And they lean pretty heavy towards C at the beginning of the round, seeing if they can pick off anything here. They do have to be careful of this player from Long. Yakuza is going to spot one. Seneca, they've stacked pretty heavily here. And that hot hands misses the mark.
Ooh, Yakuza getting very fortunate to dodge out from that molly there. Throwing the paranoia to possibly prevent any kind of push, but that's just going to be one ultimate use there. Phoenix going to lose out on his second life. Going to have to respawn with one of his own. Lamb actually going to be taking over the reins here for Phoenix. Landon up there with Cole taking a few headshots as well. And just like that, UT Dallas responds to this push from Seneca, which really felt like a half-hearted push that they couldn't make up their minds. And then UT Dallas just fully capitalized off that.
And I would go so far as to say almost the opposite, Beanies. I feel like they made up their minds way too early, way too soon.
Yeah.
Right? They saw the Omen backside, and they said, all right, we're pushing C. We're going C no matter what happens. The hot hand missed. They didn't have smokes. Their flashes really didn't even hit the mark. The rotates came out from the defenders, and they still sent it up C long. Now they're on a broken bye, it seems, for this very last, well, what is probably the very last round, I should say. UT Dallas on match point. And a creep towards A for Seneca. A lot of information gamed, though. Rajante, he is going to be able to pick up that one. Good creep up the center of the map. Does have to be careful of the Omen who's come up behind him, though, Beanies.
And you can see there another beautiful dual shot there. Just getting a look at what the offense is toying with, but they have to be careful about this Omen from UT Dallas because Yakuza is lying in wait, but he's going to get caught out of the wrong location, I wanted to say, but Yakuza actually turns it around, getting a 1-for-1 when he was just standing in the middle of nowhere. Rajante now is going to try and make a little magic happen, but unfortunately that's going to be put to rest there by Adolfo. And still UT Dallas is going to have this 2 versus 2, so Seneca, they have an opportunity to take this out. If they can push Adolfo while it's a 1 versus 2, then they can take the trade here. And they're going to take that trade. They're going to come out on top. Naughtymon's going to find one and find a second. And you said it, my friend. That is nice by Seneca, getting the spike down on top of that, preserving their life here in game 1.
And a good adjustment from Seneca. They recognized that they sent it a little bit too hard to see in the round prior, so they commit towards A. But they don't fully commit, right? They leaned towards it and they were willing to rotate away, especially once they got that pick in mid and then found Yakuza behind them. Keep in mind, 1-for-1 trades generally, most of the time, are going to favor the attacking team rather than the defending team because, especially on a map like Haven, because the information game, the map control game is so important. So Yakuza, he was in a great position. He had gained so much map control for UT Dallas that time around, but once he died, that all went away and Seneca were able to pull it off. Rough start for them here, though. And it seems like they might be sending it to a site yet again, even though it's a rough start for him.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate arrow that Adolfo sent out, but it barely caught someone looking down A long, and that's actually how they got the first elimination there on the Phoenix. And now Rajante, who does have that Viper's pit up, is going to be putting it to use and hopefully going to make it count, as this is the last opportunity they'll have this round, or this game, I should say, to get that ultimate to use. And you can see the spike in the hands of Omen, just gonna have to, yes, the spike plant will go down. Molly is thrown down onto him, but it gets a little too late, so the spike plant will go through even with a nice usage of that cooldown. But UT Dallas, they do still have this numbers advantage, Paul.
This is risky, though. They don't have much sight control as they come in for this, so things like the Hunter's Fury are going to clear them out pretty effectively. And Lamb finding Rajante. Now everyone's out in the open. Seneca, it's all down to Kozin. He wasn't able to make anything happen there. A flawless round for UT Dallas to finish this off. As they claim the first map of Haven. A great round from them. A great map in general. UT Dallas.
Flawless.
They got a forfeit win yesterday, but they are well on their way to earning today's win, Beanies.
Oh, very much so. A well-earned victory there by UT Dallas, taking game 1 against Seneca. And I mean, yeah, you talk about various performances that they had, but I think the biggest part of this was how well they performed on offense. You talked about, or excuse me, defense, I should say, because they came out early on, they set the tone with their performance, and then they held up all the way through.
And it's just very consistent gameplay from UT Dallas, right? There were very few rounds where I felt like they didn't have some semblance of control at the very least, even in the rounds they were losing. And they just looked very practiced. They looked very drilled. They knew a lot of the scenarios that were going to be coming at them, especially, you know, when they were on an attack, those retakes, when they were on defense, their rotations. They weren't hard committing to things. They were getting a lot of map control. Very clinical, clean play across the board for UT Dallas right now.
Yeah, and you can tell just from the scoreline alone that UT Dallas was just purely out aiming their opponents. Top 4 members of the lobby are on UT's side, and I think we should point out, Paul, now that we've had 3 maps with UT Dallas, they have ran the same composition all 3 times. So with this next map that we're going to be pulling up to on Bind, we have yet to see them play it. So it's going to be interesting to see if UT Dallas sticks with what they know and they run the same exact comp, or if they're going to change it up to try and take that 2-0.
I
Those
feel
questions
like
and more.
Yeah, okay. We're going to go to a quick break, actually. Good throw. Yeah, let's head on out. We can talk more about Bind after this.
You'll love the enthusiasm, folks.
Yeah.
I'm more good than I am bad. I work it out, I work it out. And I'll be somewhere that you meet me, and I'll be holding my breath, waiting for you to show.
I've been making loot since like 22. Ask me how I made it right here in the booth. I'm always pursued cause of what I pursue. That's greatness, yeah, I gotta make it, I got things to lose. Boy, wanna get in my crew, but you can't get in my crew. Me, XL and Huber, way too fireable. When this joint drop, better call the troops. And when you hear the drop, better raise the roof. Better raise the roof.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the CF1 Collegiate Valorant action here tonight. Beanies and Paulsable still bringing that sweet audio to your ears as we have just finished up game one of our match tonight, where UT Dallas pretty convincingly took down Seneca and Haven. And now looking forward, Paul, it's going to be going towards Bind here, which was actually Seneca's pick. So we're hoping to see some good things come out here.
Yeah, and it is worth noting that we do have a couple substitutes coming into the players who we saw Seneca play with yesterday, admittedly off stream, are more so being subbed in. You can look at names like Clance and I believe the other sub in, no, did we get another sub in? Is it just the one? I believe it was actually just the one. So Clance coming in now instead of Naughty Monk there. So you do have that adaptation. I feel like Seneca probably aren't going to run back the Viper here on Bind. So probably get an adaptation in their composition as well. For UT Dallas, I'd be surprised if we saw them falter from the 5 that they've been so comfortable with. Cola will switch up 1 though. It will be going over onto the Rays. Pretty standard Bind pick there. And with the Reyna out of Cola's hands, it seems like Lamb is going to pick it up.
Yeah, we'll have to see what Lamb's final choice is. He always makes casters regret their words. I've had that too many a times where they just hover the agent and they're like, oh, you know that commercial where they're hovering with the dollar on the hook and it's like, I'm gonna get you.
Oh yeah,
get your dollar.
Sure.
It's like that when they're just toying with these agent picks, and we can see actually Seneca giving us a new look already, locking in that jet for Clancy. So
Select
coming back
agent.
into the starting lineup, going to be already making an impact with a new agent select. And while we're waiting for these final few seconds to tick down, it looks like we're going to get these agent lock-ins here. And yeah, we have some new picks coming out already with that Breach and Jet over for the side of Seneca.
And I like that for Seneca, right? The Jet, obviously very good on this map. There are a lot of angles you can take with the Operator and then fall off with that Tailwind, as well as a lot of high ground that you can sit on, right? A lot of different boxes, off angles you can play on each site. And they're going to keep the Breach on, so they still have flashes, but very supportive flashes, right? Breach, not your Reynas, not your Phoenixes. Instead, going to play back, play for the team, denying a lot of site takes. Whereas it's the same story here for Lamb, it seems. Lamb just staying with that Phoenix. Going to be a little bit more greedy with those flashes, presumably, right? But he's been playing well for his team, playing well for Space so far. So I'm excited to see how this matchup varies as we head on into Bind. UT Dallas starting off on the defense. Doesn't seem like they're doing anything too crazy, although Yakuza is playing pretty far forward in hookah here. Might just go for the early look out and grab some intel.
Yeah, hopefully not going to be getting too aggressive there, but nobody's going to be in the realm to punish them on Seneca. So you can take a look that Seneca is looking to target a single point in this armor of UT Dallas and hopefully use that to break entry here. And a cheeky little jet dash going ahead, and that's going to be Clancy picking up the first blood of this game too, followed up by Adolfo responding in tow. So a 1-for-1 trade, but that will open up the avenue for a spike plant, and Blizz getting the elimination as well.
This is very well done by Seneca so far. They can't give it away though. That boom bot is going to deal some damage, I do believe. Not quite the right click that Paint was looking for there. Very low health. Omen. Kozin just going around. How do you hit that right click? That's just dirty, Cola. The right click should not be able to do that. Such low health. The Paint Shell available too, Cola. Just 7 to his name. The Paint Shell doesn't get quite as far as he was hoping for. He's going to go for the fake. And just a little bit late on the anticipation there. Thought Rajante might come towards him, but Rajante not much health to his name either, will be able to get it done. Third round in a row on the pistol, at least, for Seneca.
I was going to say, Paul, if anything, Seneca has shown that they are practiced on that pistol round. When both teams are limited to just 800 credits, that's when Seneca has this locked down. But they're going to have a lead here, just like they have in the previous game early. So we'll have to see if they can push this to their advantage. Again, ladies and gentlemen, everyone else, that Seneca did choose this map of bind here. So they are going to have to put their best foot forward if they want to bounce back after that game one. And they're looking to put their best foot forward, walking down the red carpet towards B site alongside Rajante with that concuss coming in, going to be dropping Paint.
Hello?
Who looked like he was thrown for a loop there. Wasn't prepared for the members to be pushing up, and then Clancy going to be getting a kill there onto Yakuza. So already Sight going into the hands of Seneca. They just have to make sure they hold it down while the spike gets planted.
Oh, Blizz, good 180 there. He'll be able to take out Adolfo, and Rajante just pushing back to the site, or back of the site, I should say. Good work from Seneca. Hey, they managed to keep the round after a pistol. Good on them. I am so proud of them. And now they get to bonus round here. Although Clance has done the classic Jet thing, bought the operator third round, saved enough money for it. Are you going to commit to that though? It's so risky. The rest of your team isn't going to have guns for it. And if you end up dropping that operator, it becomes such an economical disadvantage to you. So it seems like Clance thought better of it, gonna go to the Stinger, and just make this a true bonus round for Seneca.
You love to see the players that just risk it all for the operator. No armor, op buy, just risk it for the biscuit. Unfortunately, a little bit of common sense is going to hit this Jet for this time around, so we won't be seeing that. But we're going to see a hard hookah push here. All 5 members in hookah, honestly, I'm not a big fan of seeing this too often. It really just lends itself to some questionable outcomes, but it's going to be Seneca playing their own tune to determine their fate. They just got to cleanly get out of hookah here, and it looks like they will be making it out, albeit Cole having them pay the troll toll, and that's going to be 2 lives lost. Lamb also getting in on that tax, getting 3, and that's going to be a large payment for Seneca, giving over the first round of the game here to UT Dallas.
Was that bonus round for Seneca, though? They are fine with that. They got the spike down. They're able to push onto the site pretty effectively, take a couple of guns away. So still very tenuous economy for UT Dallas. And now I'm wondering if Seneca are going to switch it up, right? Because these first 3 rounds, they've been very aggressive. They've been very tunnel visioned towards one site or the other. First true gun round for both teams. Paint, admittedly, not going to even be able to have a gun. So already a slight advantage for Seneca there. If they can play slow and isolate this one member. Okay, he does actually pick up a Spectre, so really not too noticeable of a firepower differential. So Seneca, they have to respect the fact that UT Dallas are going to be playing to them. Nice recon dart there. Only going to spot. It doesn't even actually get the full spot backside. And doesn't seem to draw out any utility either. So Seneca just playing very patient Valorant right now.
Yeah, and this is honestly my preferred way of evaluating these rounds. When you lose a round like that, you really want to just take a step back sometimes and make sure you don't overstep your bounds. I mean, Seneca is fully aware of the capabilities of these UT Dallas players. They showed their gun skill and their team play in game 1. So Seneca has already doed with the Beast. They're going to try and go for a second round with better results, and already doing so. Yeah, oof is right.
That owl drone got so much information. Spotted 1 A short and 2 in hookah. Actually, maybe a bit too much information.
30 seconds left.
They nearly rotated 3 players over towards B. And Seneca, 30 seconds. They don't even have the spike. It's sitting in market. There's patience, and then there's inactivity. Seneca, they're gonna lose that first pick too. Suddenly, this is just a round where you have to save. You have to save. Seneca didn't do anything.
10 seconds left.
Seneca, but it seemed like they just big brained themselves out of this round here. They didn't even want to get a spike plant down. Heck, Seneca, honestly, even with the defenders winning the round, Seneca comes out worse for wear too, because as I say that, they do actually get a frag back onto Lamb, so that's, I guess, something. But Seneca, just inactivity through and through. Did they get up and go grab a drink for that round?
Yeah, I just had to go get a quick a cola. Get it? Oh wait, Cola's on the other team. Oh wait, I biffed it. Either way, though,
I liked it anyway. Roll with it.
Thanks, Beanies. But either way, that round is like worst case scenario for Seneca because you lose, you give over a bunch of money, and you still don't have that much yourself, right? So this is still a very pivotal round for you and UT Dallas. They're going to be feeling fine. And now UT Dallas, they don't feel any kind of pressure to make things happen, right? Because they know that there's a chance if they just wait, if they play slow, Seneca will outthink themselves. It's on Seneca to make things happen, and they're committing so hard to do so.
Oh, I mean, committing is a light way to put it. They are hitting the gas at full throttle, Nitrous and all. Blizz going to find one elimination there, giving them a free route to that spike plant. And as you can see, it's going to be left up to Clancy with this operator to clear out that. That's going to be a nice shot. Now, you got to assume for UT Dallas that you cannot afford to peek that A short angle at all with Clancy holding the operator. It's really going to be up to Yakuza to actually win out on that trade and taking a dance with the devil and coming out on top of a beautiful sign there for UT Dallas as it's going to be a 2-on-2 and Seneca is going to have to respond here to the defuse coming out. Rajante taking their sweet time. Koza going to be falling here and they do get in time for the defuse. Paul, I don't think they're going to be able to finish this off. I think UT Dallas might get blown up. Is it? Yes. Oh, that's gonna be
there from Yakuza, really saving Adolfo. Got to get once again UT Dallas. They just prove how good they are, how disciplined they are on retake scenarios. Right? They easily are able to isolate that operator from Clance. Yakuza. I mean, by all rights, he probably shouldn't have been able to get that frag, but the amount of angles Clance had to worry about was just too great, I suppose. Now it's getting to that situation. Once again, Seneca on a broken bye. That inactivity in round 3 really coming, or round 4 rather, really coming back to bite them. And I liked how aggressive they were. I liked that they chose to make something happen last round, but it's not nearly enough. And now they're going to rush over onto Hookah. They're going to rush into a lot of players and a lot of utility if they decide to commit to this.
Yeah, Paul, it was smart for them to go out for that grenade because if they all ran into Hookah there, it was going to be a raging playground. But unfortunately, they are not allowed entry to this site. It's going to be UT Dallas just doing exactly what you expect to happen to a team that groups as 5 inside of Hookah and then just jumps out of the window. I mean, you're not going to be able to take some reliable gunfights standing in the open after just landing.
Yes,
Seneca seemed to only have 2 modes, Beanies. Push the site or don't push the site. And I like the push the site look. Don't get me wrong. I think they could stand to get a little bit cleaner on the don't push the site look. I'd like to see them play for a little bit more info, right? They've pivoted over to having that Sova. They've pivoted over to having things like the Omen and the Jet, right? And the Cypher as well. You can play slower and play for the information game. You don't have to go for these hard commits.
No, you do not. Sometimes the better choice is to go with Brain over Brawn here in Seneca. They're going to actually get the spike down very quickly, forcing a late rotation from the B-site defenders. But with Cola heading to the skies and raining down hell from above, it's going to be one elimination that starts a tsunami of eliminations there for UT Dallas, who actually, off the back of Adolfo's ultimate, going to finish off Seneca and get themselves their 5th round win here in the first half.
That's the problem with just sending it onto a site and playing to get the spike down, right? You're playing for the spike rather than playing for the site. You never got back site control. You never really took control of showers, and your control of lamps was tenuous at best in that round, Seneca. 5 in a row for UT Dallas now. They don't show any sign of slowing down as once again the eco's not right for Seneca. And I really need to see them play a little bit more methodical here. UT Dallas, they've shown that unless Seneca can play up to that same level, or if Seneca can throw some wild curveball at them, UT Dallas aren't going to be able, or otherwise, I should say, UT Dallas aren't going to be fracturing. So need to see some kind of variance. But yet again, Seneca just waterfalling out A short.
Yeah, it's the same song, same tune and all, and it's going to be Lamb with that operator now going to be dropping one alongside his comrade who takes down another Seneca member, and that's going to mean that the other parts of this offense are going to turn tail and run to default, actually. Rajante going to find one elimination. So with UT Dallas having their agents evened up, and actually they're going to be at an agent deficit here with Seneca. After they get the plant down, they're going to be finding some eliminations. But Yakuza getting 1, getting 2, even with Rajante throwing down his ultimate, it's not going to be enough to prevent both members of UT Dallas from getting these kills. And with Blizz just stuck here in U-Haul, trying to find his way through, he's not going to get past the sneaky eyes of Cola, hiding there in heaven, and that's going to be UT Dallas securing them their 6th round win. And at minimum, they're looking at a tie going into the next half, but I have a feeling they're going to be getting a lot more round wins before this is done with.
And once again, it comes down to site control, man. I mean, you 5-man out A short, so you don't have control of showers, right? Then you have to go chase the Sova and the Cypher out of showers, or not the Sova, rather, the Phoenix and the Cypher, so you don't have your breach on site. Well, you don't have your breach on site, that means the enemy team can get onto the site because they're not worried about flashes. Rajante then has to try to retake with the Rolling Thunder. It whiffs entirely, and things fall apart from there. Seneca, they are too focused on that spike right now. I need to see them play for map control.
Seneca is going to have to reevaluate their game mid-match, which is a testament to many teams' ability, but it's something that you have to develop over time. It can't just come to you in the heat of the moment. So we'll have to see if Seneca has this in their back pocket and the ability to adjust their strategies on the fly. Clancy hoping to be catalyst for this team coming in, but Paint is sitting there on the wall, and unfortunately that's going to be a lot more than just watching it dry there, folks. Cola striking with 2 eliminations as well, so UT Dallas really lighting up the kill feed back to back to back to back. And you know what, throw it in one more time back, because at this point Seneca is really just going through the motions. It feels like UT Dallas, they know Seneca's 2 strategies. It's either go through A short and push towards ace, or go through hookah and run to B site.
Well, and what good reads from UT Dallas, right? They've recognized the one-dimensional strategy of Seneca. So anytime now that Seneca shows a single player, everyone from UT Dallas rotates to that site, right? They saw one person up B long, and all 5 players were on B, ready for the push from Seneca. UT Dallas have such a good read over this game right now, and it doesn't seem like that is going to be going anywhere. Recon Dart is destroyed, and once again, look at this. A little bit of information goes over, and everyone from UT Dallas is coming over to A.
Yeah, and Lamb is going to make Ace pay. And I will add that Adolfo got a shock arrow down onto the breach from Seneca, so a little bit of help for Rajante going to fall. And you know what? It's just UT Dallas doing the same thing we've seen every single round here, folks. UT Dallas finding the eliminations. Blizz going to actually get Lamb on the way back from his ultimate, but Cola is still there to collect the insurance, collect the debt, and now with UT Dallas sitting at an 8-2 score, it's very reminiscent of Haven. If this goes along that same road, we're going to be looking at 10-2 halftime.
It is worth noting this is Bind. This is one of the more defender-sided maps in the game, right? So we can put that, we can give Seneca that little pat on the back for that. Their game isn't over here, especially if they can find a way to come out 8-4 from this half. But
revealing area.
Things are certainly looking rather dire. Give up a little bit of information. Once again, that recon dart. And once again, look at UT Dallas. They are already booking it toward the A site, and Seneca is already booking it out A short.
Ooh, Lamb right there, taking down Ace. The same exact spot, the same exact weapon. Honestly, it feels like Groundhog Day for those two over there. Maybe it'll be 3rd time the charm next round, but Seneca hoping to have a different outcome this time around. Yakuza, though, gonna make pay. And yeah, a different change here. It's going to be UT Dallas having to respond to Rajante with the spike, taking that teleporter over to B site, but oh no, you got a raise, you got an ultimate, and you got an explosion. That's very difficult to dodge, my friend. Cola securing that elimination, and 9-2 now, looking for UT Dallas to get that 10th round before half.
Kudos to Seneca, at least. I like that they tried something new, right?
Yeah.
I think they're definitely going to want to go into VOD review after this match and think, okay, if we want to go for an A teleport play, how can we better support that? How can we better prepare for that rather than just haphazardly going for it in the middle of the round? But I like the fact that they're trying something different, right? Because at this point, you really have to if you are Seneca. They do have a lot of ults coming into this last round. Hunter's Fury, Neural Theft can give them a lot of information. But Seneca haven't exactly been playing for information thus far. They get a little bit of info. They know where the operator is. They know that Lamb is just sitting right here in short, and now it's a duel of the hunters.
Yeah, Paul, you think that Neural Theft can hopefully steal some of UT Dallas' strats as well? Because Seneca needs a lot more than just locations to help them win this round. Kozin, though, with the Bulldog and aiming down sight with it. I will add that nice little burst tap going to take down Cola. So UT Dallas in familiar territory for this game. Down in agents here. And Clancy going to make that Omen pay for peeking the corner. Paint is going to be the lone member here of UT Dallas. And that Neural Theft is going to come in. So all members of the attacking squad is going to be shown. And shocker here, Paul, all of Seneca is on the site. So UT Dallas is going to be left up with Paint, trying to take control of the site, but Kozin is going to finish off Paint and give Seneca at least some momentum going into the second half.
Switching sides.
Beanies, if you keep hitting your head against a wall, eventually the wall breaks, right? Eventually the wall will break. And your head is fine. That's what Seneca do there. They just keep sending it A short, man. And eventually it did pay out. I thought it was very good Hunter's Fury from Blizz. He was able to get the better end of Adolfo there, so kudos to him. Good work mechanically to recognize that. And I mean, Seneca, they've yet to lose a pistol. This could be where we see them swing everything back, Beanies. It ain't over until it's over. But Seneca, they're going to have a pretty good defense if they want to tie us up, potentially send us to overtime, or even just take this map, send us to a third.
Yeah, Seneca, kudos to them for their shining light so far of this series have been the 3 for 3 on pistol round. Looking to make it 4 for 4 here with this one, as they are going for an aggressive peek here on B site, and with a single cooldown from that recon arrow, their cheesy strat's going to get sniffed out, and now UT Dallas, smart choice, going to be sending it over towards A short. Just going to have to deal with those tripwires that have been set up by Ace, which honestly is not going to be doing too much when you keep with those shots.
And you're just going to have to play for the retake on A now, Seneca. They will have all 5 of their players alive, as the Cypher has retreated smartly into heaven, not contesting for that. But look at the difference in sight control compared to what we saw last round. Although backside is pretty free here. Not a great control of lamps either. So Kozin has just walked into that one, and now he's being supported by Clance. This is going to get very bloody very quickly, but Blind is going to keep those right clicks from landing. It's 2 versus 3 now. Seneca, they don't have a ton of health to work with either. They know where a couple of these players are, but they won't be able to get the better end of it. UT Dallas pick up their first pistol and head into double digits on Bind.
Oh, Paul, and the best part of that, buddy, was that cheeky little round, and with the right click from a distance, it always stings a little extra when they finish you off with that, because you know there's a little bit of RNG just not going your way for that one. 10-3 with UT Dallas having to not get too far ahead of themselves. I mean, we have seen Seneca at the start of this game, and game that's where they took the majority of their rounds, it feels like. So at the early stages is where Seneca is going to be able to strike, and you can't doubt their ability with these pistols, or in Rajante's case, a nice little shorty, and an ode to his previous pick using the Viper skin on that shorty. So even in a separate agent choice, he's going to be keeping that Viper with him. I respect it.
He's retreated out of lamps though, so that shorty suddenly gets more difficult. He'll come back into it, actually. Him and Kozin just creeping back into lamps, so they still have pretty strong control. Kozin with a paranoia. I'm not sure about that one, buddy. You didn't have control of that angle anyways. The paranoia wasn't going to do much of anything, and now you just lose lamps.
Yeah, like firmly in control of the offense. The spike is going to get planted, and this shorty is going to have a hard time dealing with that Bulldog. Ace also going to have a hard time with 13 HP left here. The classic isn't going to amount to much. Molly and the wall. Oh, Ace with the right click, I think, gonna take down Lamb. And that is unfortunate for UT Dallas, but it's not going to hurt them too, because Seneca still does go down. That weapon can be picked up. And I mean, UT Dallas has plenty of credits here for round, what is it, 15.
And this is best case scenario of all best case scenarios for UT Dallas economy-wise, right? They only lose 1 gun. They're going to be able to bonus round here. Even if they lose this bonus round, as long as Seneca doesn't walk away with all 5 guns, look how broke they are. They have $200 in the bank. That's not enough for this month's rent, Seneca. You're going to have to pay up. And UT Dallas, all they need is a couple of kills here. 1 or 2, and they feel fine. They've broken Seneca's economy, and they'll be sitting toward match point. If UT Dallas somehow win this round, the game's been killed.
Oh, Paul, also watch out. UT Dallas, remember that spike. Because as we've learned, it's very easy to forget you put the spike in the back there. As Adolfo takes down 1, and it's going to be an evened up agents duel here with 4 apiece with Blizz trying to hold this elbow, but it's going to be B side, it looks like, as the overall choice. It's just left up to respond and try and win these gunfights.
See, and what you can do right now is you can actually play this slow. You're by the teleporter. If you want to rush over to the A site, you can. And Spike is on the way to A. So Paint has just snuck into the A site. I believe he avoided the camera there, maybe? It's a little bit dicey. Ace seems to have an inkling that somebody is over here, and Paint's in such a strong position now. So Lamb is going to pressure like there are still people on this B site. And you have so many options right now if you're UT Dallas. You have control of the entire map. If you want to plant A, go for it. If you want to teleport back to B, that's your prerogative. You can do whatever you want. Seems like it will be on A, and Blizz is stuck over here on B.
And we do have that spike going on here. Site is the choice, but you have to look out in spawn. Lamb chilling in CT here, gonna have to check his backside. Does not see the approaching member, and he's actually gonna be stuck between the sandwich. Lamb gonna have to turn around. Does in fact turn on Blizz, get the 4K, and pick up round win number 12 for UT Dallas, sending them into series point.
And it's seeming like the game is going to end, not with a bang, Beanies, but with a half buy from Seneca, as they're going to have to just spend every dollar that they got, which, again, ain't much. But it's not looking too good for them right now, Beanies. It has been so clean from UT Dallas. They have been playing so brilliantly. I got to give credit to whoever their IGL is, whoever their captain is, because it has been nothing short of phenomenal across the map right now. Mid-round, pre-round, everything is going right for UT Dallas.
Yeah, and honestly, a lot of it you can even attribute to just the individual skill alone of these players. I think practice aside, you can see that UT Dallas is just flat out winning more gunfights. Their transfers in really sticky situations have been super impressive. Rajante, though, actually going to have a good bit of control there. Long-range elimination with the Stinger, not something you'll be seeing too often along B site, let alone in this game. And Lamb now going to try and make amends for that fallen member. We should point out, with HP bars and all considered, basically evened up fight here for the remaining minute of this round. So very much in Seneca's hands here. They just got to deal with that one pesky Phoenix ultimate. It looks like they're being very cautious with dealing with it.
Yeah, Lamb just creates so much space with that run it back. He actually probably will get caught here. Does actually have an idea that somebody's coming, but not enough of one to commit to the angle. Lamb does get taken down there. Fault line at the ready. Suddenly a winnable situation for Seneca if they can just find this raise before Cola does too much damage. But no dice there. Rajante just 30 health and no utility. Probably killed by the paint shell. And there it is. It does end with a bang after all, as Cola will take that out of that explosively. And that is a clean 2-0 for UT Dallas. They are now sitting at a 2-0 scoreline and looking good to get out of this group.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, scoreboard coming up on your screen now, folks. You can see Lamb yet again topping the leaderboard. Back-to-back games for this player. A fantastic average comp, 311. I mean, miles ahead of the competition. Really, kudos to the entirety of UT Dallas. Yeah. The name the most across these two games, it feels like, was Lamb. So personally, Lamb feels like my player of the series.
I mean, Lamb did a phenomenal job. It's good to see him in a game where he's not disconnecting every other round. I like that. I like the consistency from Lamb. And the Phoenix play was very good, right? And it was beyond just your typical, like, solo queue Phoenix. I'm going to go, lurk across the map and just play for the 1v1 so I can feel better about my KD. He was creating a lot of space with his run-it-backs. His hot hands were perfectly timed, not only offensively, but also defensively and for retakes, right? So he's using utility very intelligently, and he seemed to always had a flash when he needed it. So great work from Lamb and the rest of UT Dallas.
Yeah, exactly that. And, you know, talking about UT so much, we actually have an opportunity to interview their captain, Adolfo, after this short break. So don't go anywhere. We're going to be hearing from tonight's winners in just a few moments. Hello, everybody. Welcome back here to CF1's broadcast of Collegiate Valorant. And we just had the opportunity to see UT Dallas steamroll over Seneca Esports in two pretty convincing games. And now we have an opportunity to speak with their captain, Adolfo. Adolfo, first and foremost, talk to us. How are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good after that. We were pretty confident going in, and coming out of it, we're even more confident.
All right, well, let's go back to the first map of Haven, because it did start off a little bit rough. You know, the pistol, the Viper especially, I kind of want to talk about here. Were you guys prepared to deal with a Viper on Haven? Is that something you've practiced against, or did you have to make that adaptation mid-map?
I think we've played only one other team that had a Viper on Haven, but we're really good at adapting to different kind of setups that we've seen. We play a lot together too, so we kind of already know exactly what we're going to do and how we're going to play off each other. So it only threw us off just a little bit. We just had to change up a little bit of our kind of play style, but we're able to adapt around it.
And adaptability, actually, good segue into this next point, or lack thereof, maybe. You guys seem very, very confident with a set pick of agents. I mean, the only diversity we've seen really is one of you switching over to a Raze. So I want to know, is this something that started out more with like a comfortability thing? Like all 5 of you just happen to enjoy these certain agents and you went with that? Or is it more, this is a team comp that works for us and we just run this over and over?
I would say it's mostly we looked at all the agents in the pool available, and we wanted to kind of come up with a comp that first that everyone is comfortable with, and also second that it's going to give us the most kind of we feel the most information and the best use of abilities together. So like originally I was playing on Smokes with Brimstone, like it started when Valorant came out, but then I switched to Sova. So it's been definitely a learning experience playing these tournaments and stuff like that. But for everyone else, we're really comfortable in their agents already, so it just made sense to continue with that. But we're always looking at different meta changes and stuff like that. So we want to make sure we're kind of like on top of that, and we're just comfortable with what we play.
Okay, fair enough. Well, we've got a little bit before Sky or any new meta changes comes in, thankfully. So you guys have plenty of time to just rock this composition for a while. I do want to talk about your prospects in the group now, right? So you guys are 2-0. You unfortunately didn't get your true revenge against UCI yesterday, or Monday rather, as it was that forfeit win instead. But you guys feeling good about your prospects this tournament? We know that you guys made it to the bracket play last go around. That didn't quite go as far. How you feeling, or how do you feel you guys are shaping up this time around?
We're feeling pretty good. We're definitely looking forward to playing UCI again after playing in the same group as last time. It's just kind of unfortunate that we weren't able to play them and kind of like test ourselves again. But it did give us some more time to kind of like relax and also look over different VODs and practice together. So we're pretty confident about this one. We're also looking at the other groups and seeing how they play out, since we've already kind of seen them play last tournament. So we're really interested to see how the matchups turn out for the bracket.
Well, I mean, best of luck to you guys. You're already looking pretty at 2-0. Just aim to sure up in the group stage. And without further ado, I guess that's going to be it from us here. So thank you for your time, Adolfo. Congrats on that win. Also very important here in the group as you look ahead to next weekend. And good luck with your practice going ahead, and all the best for the rest of the tournament, bud.
All right, thank you. Thank you guys for casting and everything.
Broadcast tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for joining us yet again for another night of CF1 Collegiate Valorant action. It was a great time to cast. This has been Paul. On behalf of everyone behind the screens here who have been helping make this happen, we want to say thank you for coming out, and we'll be seeing you guys again tomorrow night for a little bit more of College Valorant action, because we know you're always looking for that. So make sure you come back here, because we'll be looking for you.
I see it now, I see it now. Real love, now I break through to show to you that I'm more good than I am bad. I work it out, I work it out. And I'll be somewhere that you need me, and I'll be holding my breath, waiting for you to show. know I do to make it through the times we had. I see it now, I see it now. Real love, now I break through to show to you that I'm more good than I am bad. I work it out.